Everybody keeps arguing about the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation like that's the biggest disaster in the building. Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, rookie pressure, veteran pressure, fans fighting online every single day over who should start. But what if the entire conversation is wrong? What if the Browns' biggest issue was never the quarterback at all? Because Cam Newton just said something that completely flipped the conversation around Cleveland. And once he said it, people started looking at Jerry Jeudy very differently. And honestly, this thing has been building for a long time. Because if we're being real, Jerry Jeudy has been hearing the same criticism since Denver. Talented, smooth route runner, first-round ability, but not enough production when it matters most. And now the pressure is following him to Cleveland. The crazy part is, this whole situation really exploded because of one brutal public moment. Steve Smith absolutely unloaded on Jerry Jeudy live on television, not behind closed doors, not anonymously, right in front of everybody. And the moment instantly went viral. Smith basically called Jeudy just a guy. Said he was an average receiver teams overdrafted because of hype. Then things got even more personal when Jeudy confronted him before a game. That's when the entire football world started paying attention, because Steve Smith didn't back down at all. In fact, he doubled down. And whether fans agreed with him or not, the damage was already done. Suddenly people weren't just looking at Jerry Jeudy as a talented receiver anymore. They started asking a much uglier question. Can he actually handle being a true WR1? And that question followed him straight into Cleveland. When the Browns traded for Jeudy, fans acted like they had finally found the missing piece. A former Alabama superstar, elite route running, separation ability, big play upside. On paper, it sounded perfect. Cleveland desperately needed somebody who could help stabilize the offense, especially with all the uncertainty surrounding Deshaun Watson. The Browns weren't bringing Jeudy in to be a role player. They wanted a game changer, the kind of receiver defensive coordinators lose sleep over, the kind of target who makes life easier for a quarterback, the kind of player who turns third and long into a first down without panic. But then the season started, and the same problems showed up again. Flashes, moments, a few clean routes, a few highlight catches, and then stalled drives, missed opportunities, dropped passes. The inconsistency that haunted him in Denver suddenly followed him to Cleveland, and Browns fans started getting frustrated fast. Because here's the reality nobody wants to admit. In today's NFL, talent alone means nothing. Every team has talented players. What separates stars from disappointments is consistency. The elite receivers show up every single week, not every few games. Not only when the matchup is easy, every week. That's why players like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb completely change offenses. Quarterbacks trust them, coaches trust them, defenses fear them. And right now, Cleveland is still waiting for that version of Jerry Jeudy to appear consistently. But then Cam Newton stepped into the conversation and somehow made everything even more uncomfortable. Because Cam basically said the quarterback debate doesn't even matter. Think about that. A former MVP looked at the Browns situation and said, it doesn't matter whether it's Watson, Shedeur Sanders, or almost anybody else under center if the support system around them keeps collapsing. That hit Browns fans hard. Because for months, the entire focus had been on the quarterbacks. People blamed Watson. People hyped Shedeur Sanders. People debated whether the Browns should completely restart the franchise. But Cam shifted the spotlight somewhere else entirely. Straight onto the receivers. Straight onto the offensive line, and specifically, straight onto Jerry Jeudy. And honestly, a lot of people around the league quietly agreed with him, because when you actually watch the Browns' offense, you can see the hesitation, you can feel the lack of trust. Quarterbacks start second-guessing throws, timing gets disrupted, drives fall apart. And once a quarterback starts wondering whether his receiver will actually finish the play, the entire offense changes. That's the hidden part fans don't always notice. A dropped pass doesn't just kill one play, it changes confidence, it changes aggression, it changes decision-making. Suddenly the quarterback starts checking the ball down instead of attacking. Suddenly he hesitates for half a second. And in the NFL, half a second destroys everything, especially in the AFC North. That division is brutal. Baltimore can score fast, Cincinnati can score fast, Pittsburgh's defense punishes mistakes. There's no